Tyreek Hill calls out Mike McDaniel over Dolphins' offensive flaw, and he's right. Mike McDaniel was supposed to be an offensive genius, but the former running backs coach is struggling to figure out the running game. Tyreek Hill has a suggestion. The top receiver on the Dolphins roster admitted this week that he has never taken notes in team meetings and that throughout the last 3 seasons, he didn't understand the Dolphins' offensive system. That isn't stopping him from offering advice to his head coach. Hill was asked about the Dolphins' third and short situations. He wasted no time saying that a chain needs to stay off the field. Hill was laughing about the comment, but he was serious. As Hill explained it, the Dolphins have Jalen Wright and Ollie Gordon for those situations. Alexander Mattison has been more impressive so far. Tyreek Hill thinks Dolphins RB Devonta Chain needs to stay off the field on third and short. Hill is right about this. A chain is not a power back, so expecting him to pick up 2 yards by running the ball up the middle makes little sense. Mike McDaniel may believe he is being creative and that having a chain on the field will make defenses think a little more about what play they are going to run, but so far, defenses are not buying what he is trying to sell. Miami needs to rely more on its running game. It takes pressure off the receivers and Tua Tagovailoa. The Dolphins can control the tempo and clock with a strong running game. Many fans and media believe that if Miami is going to have success this year, it will be because of the running game. If Miami can't consistently move the ball on the ground, pick up short yardage first downs, and see McDaniel sticking to the ground game when it is working, the offense is going to be one-dimensional, and defenses will have no problem stopping this offense. Tyreek Hill has never been one to bite his tongue. The cheetah is fast, fearless, and unapologetically vocal, both on the field and off it. But his latest comments didn't just raise eyebrows. They struck a nerve in Miami. During a post-practice media session under the sweltering Florida sun, Hill didn't hold back. "We've got the speed. We've got the talent. But sometimes it feels like we don't know how to use it right," Hill said. Coach McDaniel is a genius, no doubt. But even geniuses need a reality check now and then. The comment came after a joint practice where the Dolphins' offense looked disjointed. Again. Despite boasting a wide receiver core that would make any defensive coordinator sweat, the Dolphins failed to capitalize on the kind of vertical opportunities that Tyreek thrives on. Short routes, predictable screens, and an over-reliance on timing plays seemed to stifle what should be a nuclear-powered attack. This wasn't just another athlete venting frustration. It was a calculated, necessary call-out, and Hill wasn't wrong. A Ferrari in a school zone. When the Dolphins traded for Tyreek Hill in 2022, it was a message to the NFL. Miami was ready to burn rubber. Add Jalen Waddle to that mix, and you've got 2 of the fastest receivers in the league, both capable of turning a 5-yard slant into an 80-yard highlight. But somewhere along the way, the offensive scheme started acting more like a Prius than a Ferrari. Hill's frustration points to a fundamental flaw. McDaniel's offense, while creative, has at times become overly cautious. Whether it's protecting Tua Tagovailoa from injury or trying to overcompensate for offensive line inconsistencies, the Dolphins have developed a habit of playing it safe, sometimes to a fault. "It's like having fireworks and only lighting sparklers," Hill said with a grin, half joking but all serious. The genius and his blind spot. No one doubts Mike McDaniel's mind. He's built one of the most innovative offenses in the league, bringing in pre-snap motion waves and wide zone runs that echo the teachings of Kyle Shanahan. But with brilliance comes risk. The risk of over-engineering something that demands simplicity. Let your playmakers make plays. Hill's critique isn't about undermining the head coach. It's about urging him to trust the raw, untouchable talent his team possesses. When Hill and Waddle are in motion, there should be chaos for defenses, not confusion for their own offense. Insiders say Hill voiced his thoughts internally before going public. But seeing no change, he took the bold step of making it known. A calculated gamble intended to shake things up before it's too late. Locker room echoes. In the locker room, reactions were mixed, but mostly supportive. Jalen Waddle nodded in agreement when reporters asked him about Hill's comments. "We all want to win. If that means calling each other out, calling the staff out, it's love. That's leadership." Even Tua, often caught in the crossfire of criticism, chimed in diplomatically. "Tyreek holds us all to a high standard, coaches included. That's what makes him great. That's what keeps us honest. Hill's approach might be unorthodox, but it's authentic. He's not just playing for numbers or accolades. He's chasing a ring.
And he knows the window is narrow.
If the Dolphins want to make a run deep into January, it starts with letting loose the very weapon they built the offense around. A wake-up call, or widening rift. Some media pundits speculate that Hill's comments could signal internal friction. But others, especially former players, see it differently. Former Dolphins wide receiver Brandon Marshall-Wade in on his podcast. I love it. Tyreek is trying to wake them up. He knows what championship football looks like. He played with Mahomes. He knows when an offense is tiptoeing instead of attacking. This is urgency, not drama. The Dolphins have all the ingredients: speed, chemistry, creativity. But they've lacked the willingness to be ruthlessly explosive for 4 quarters. Too many games last season saw them build early leads, only to stall out in the second half. Death by conservative play calling. McDaniels' response: cool, collected, and listening. To his credit, Mike McDaniel didn't take the bait defensively. When asked about Hill's critique, he smiled and said, "Tyreek wants to win. I want to win. If we disagree on the route to get there, that's okay. Sometimes a spark comes from a little friction. I respect him too much not to listen." That might be the most encouraging part. McDaniel doesn't see himself as infallible. And Hill, for all his flamboyance, has always been a team-first player behind the scenes. The Dolphins now sit at a crossroads. They can either shrink from the moment and play safe, or they can double down on their strengths: blistering speed, aggressive vertical threats, and a quarterback who, when confident, can sling it with the best of them. Unleash the cheetah. Hill's words might just be the jolt Miami needs. The message is clear. Stop putting chains on a cheetah. This team isn't built to play small ball. It's built to light up the scoreboard, to stretch the field, to keep defensive backs in a state of perpetual panic. If McDaniel listens, really listens, and tweaks his playbook to reflect Hill's call to action, the Dolphins could become one of the most dangerous offenses in football.
And if not,
well, let's just say Hill won't stay quiet for long.